The human being is in the most literal sense a political animal, not merely a gregarious animal, but an animal which can individuate itself only in the midst of society. Necessity is blind until it becomes conscious. Freedom is the consciousness of necessity. The ideas of the ruling class are in every epoch the ruling ideas, i.e., the class which is the ruling material force of society, is at the same time its ruling intellectual force. Revolutions are the locomotives of history. The production of too many useful things results in too many useless people. The product of mental labor, science, always stands far below its value, because the labor time necessary to reproduce it has no relation at all to the labor time required for its original production. Art is always and everywhere the secret confession, and at the same time the immortal movement of its time. Capital is dead labor, which, vampire-like, lives only by sucking living labor, and lives the more labor it sucks. For the bureaucrat, the world is a mere object to be manipulated by him. History repeats itself, first as tragedy, second as farce. From each according to his abilities, to each according to his needs. Society does not consist of individuals, but expresses the sum of interrelations, the relations within which these individuals stand. The worker of the world has nothing to lose, but their chains. Workers of the world unite. History does nothing. It does not possess immense riches. It does not fight battles. It is men, real, living, who do all this. The more the division of labor and the application of machinery extend, the more competition extends among the workers, and the more their wages shrink together. The development of civilization and industry, in general, has always shown itself so active in the destruction of forests that everything that has been done for their conservation and production is completely insignificant in comparison. In a higher phase of communist society, only then can the narrow horizon of bourgeoisie be fully left behind and society inscribes on its banners, from each according to his ability, to each according to his needs. Without doubt, machinery has greatly increased the number of well-to-do idlers. The writer may very well serve a movement of history as its mouthpiece, but he cannot of course create it. Greek philosophy seems to have met with something with which a good tragedy is not supposed to meet, namely, a dull ending. Capital is money, capital is commodities. By virtue of it being value, it has acquired the occult ability to add value to itself. It brings forth living offspring, or, at the least, lays golden eggs. The writer must earn money in order to be able to live and write, but he must by no means live and write for the purpose of making money. Men's ideas are the most direct emanations of their material state. The history of all previous societies has been the history of class struggles. Medicine heals doubts as well as diseases. If anything is certain, it is that I myself am not a Marxist. The rich will do anything for the poor but get off their backs. The only antidote to mental suffering is physical pain. Social progress can be measured by the social position of the female sex. Workers of the world unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains. The meaning of peace is the absence of opposition to socialism. The theory of communism may be summed up in one sentence: abolish all private property. Nothing can have value without being an object of utility. The ruling ideas of each age have ever been the ideas of its ruling class. Capital is reckless of the health or length of life of the laborer, unless under compulsion from society. Natural science will in time incorporate into itself the science of man, just as the science of man will incorporate into itself natural science. There will be one science. Democracy is the road to socialism. Let the ruling classes tremble at a communist revolution. The proletarians have nothing to lose but their chains. They have a world to win. Workingmen of all countries, unite. Reason has always existed, but not always in a reasonable form. Landlords, like all other men, love to reap where they never sowed. Experience praise it is the most happy the one who made the most people happy. Machines were, it may be said, the weapon employed by the capitalists to quell the revolt of specialized labor. The country that is more developed industrially only shows, to the less developed, the image of its own future.